factors on the education he and his classmates received in preparation for entering the profession of physical therapy. I invite the soon-to-be Dr. Matthew Leonard to come forward to address his class.
Rumor has it several years ago, Dr. Sarman and Dr. Dusinger made a pact that the day a chiropractor stood on this stage would be the day they retired. We now know that they were both good to their word. Recently, a group of classmates and I got together to watch the NFL Draft, the event where college football players are selected to play for teams in the NFL. When players are selected, their attributes are dissected by a panel of experts. As the player is introduced, a screen on the broadcast lists several bullet points offering the skills and deficiencies of the player, while a highlight and sometimes low-light video package is played. What always strikes me is the blunt nature with which each player is assessed, as though they are chess pieces versus dynamic human beings. For these young men, the draft is the culmination of 20 years devoted to improving their attributes as athletes, including countless hours devoted to practices, travel, games, strength and conditioning, and in some cases, academics. For all of this to be summarized in a 140 characters or less fashion doesn't do justice to the long odds the players had to overcome to hear their names called on draft day. Similarly, today for us is the culmination of 20 years, okay, maybe 30 years for some of us, of preparation, commitment, and sacrifice. How would we be feeling if this ceremony was similar to the NFL draft process? What if when we received our diploma, there was a screen summarizing our GPA, our ankle taping speed, and a breakdown of our body mechanics? What if there was a video package highlighting some of our finest moments during school? Our first day of cadaver dissection. The practical examination moments we would like to forget but probably never will. And the various positions a few of us invented to manually muscle test the quadratus lumborum. Actually, it seems like this might make graduation a lot more interesting for everyone. But that's beside my point. In my opinion, the missing component of the assessment of athletes on TV is the reason teams spend months investigating the background of players before they draft them. What intangibles does the athlete possess that will allow him to succeed at the highest level? If success in professional athletics was simply a measure of physical attributes, it would be an easy process. Similarly, if physical therapy was simply a process of memorizing and applying modalities and exercise protocols, like a certain percentage of the population seems to think it is, it would be easy as well. In an effort to try to describe these intangible components of performance, an exercise physiology researcher named Dr. Timothy Noakes has done extensive research on long-distance running. Dr. Noakes has popularized a hypothesis known as the central governor theory. Through his research, he found that at the end of a long-distance run, the physiological capacities of elite runners are nearly identical. Most have followed similar training protocols and have comparable levels of peak performance. At the end of a race, why do some runners hit the wall, while others can find the last kick to get to the tape first? I have personally never run far enough to find the wall, but I will trust the runners in the audience that it indeed exists. Dr. Noakes suggests the differentiating factor in the runners is in the brain. The central governor theory states that the brain tells the body to quit long before the body is exhausted of resources. He believes those who have the mental resiliency to push through the brain's signals are often the ones who win the race. I believe the central governor theory can be applied to graduate school, as well as life. Along the way, most of us have had moments where we felt like quitting. What has allowed us to push through to get to this moment today? In my opinion, our ability to ignore our central governor is addressed by answering the following question. What is your why? Why do you get out of bed each morning? Why are you driven to push yourself to continue to learn and improve? As I reflect on the members of our graduating class, we have some pretty amazing whys. First and foremost, if you're in this room, you're a part of our why. Many of you, particularly spouses and significant others, have been an integral part of the process. You probably didn't realize you'd be temporarily contracting neurological conditions, spinal cord injuries, and orthopedic impairments to help us practice our skills and prepare for our exams. You probably also have developed a complex about how you walk, bend over, and run. Without you, our why is not complete. In addition, we are very fortunate to have learned from a group of instructors, many of whom are on the stage today, whose why includes sharing their knowledge and experience in developing our skills as therapists. We are grateful to have learned so much from each of you. In our graduating class, there are many unique whys that drive each of us. We have an individual who has defended our country by serving multiple tours of duty in the Army. We have many collegiate athletes: swimming, gymnastics, baseball, softball, golf, volleyball, lacrosse, track and field. I think I got one. We have multiple individuals who have defeated cancer. We have highly skilled musicians and writers. We have aspiring bodybuilders and competitive eaters. We have a few members of the class who added a Y during this process in the form of a new child or a new last name. We also have members of the class who have lost a part of their Y along the way, whether it was before coming to school or during school, and we carry those memories with us today. We have some who came to PT school still searching for a Y and finding it through the process of education and clinical rotations. We have members of our class who have devoted a great deal of time to those in need, including nearly a quarter of our class taking a mission trip to Guatemala. Personally, I get asked why I came back to school fairly often. For a while, I tried explaining the central governor theory, but that led to more questions than answers. In truth, my why is seated somewhere out there, and I can't see the lights pretty bright. My wife, my family, mean everything to me. My why has inspired me to do my best to follow two sayings: do tough things and win the day. Consistently doing tough things can go a long way toward winning a day. To hold myself accountable, I perform a daily audit I call the toothbrush test. Each night when I brush my teeth, I ask myself a set of 5 questions that allow me to determine what kind of day I had. First, did I get stronger, physically and mentally? Second, did I help someone else get stronger? Third, did I eat well? Fourth, did I spend time with people I care about? And fifth, did I have fun? As I consider my set of questions, it helps explain why I chose this path. A career in physical therapy allows each of us to serve as positive role models in the society facing a health crisis. In addition, our workdays are devoted to helping our patients win the day in their own way, whether they are rehabbing an ankle sprain or managing a chronic progressive disease. The relationships developed with each other and with our patients make it all worthwhile. Looking back at Dr. Noak's research, the one override he consistently found with the central governor was support and encouragement from others. Runners who were cheered on by those around them were more likely to push through the wall. Over the past 3 years, the relationships we have built with each other has allowed us to push through the wall to reach this great achievement. Today represents the aggregate of winning more days than we have lost for the past 20 plus years. To me, that is cause for celebration. Congratulations, classmates and fellow doctors of physical therapy. And to everyone here to support us today, thank you for being a part of our why.